Hello everyone, Pinder Productions here, and today I'm back with another F1 2016 Career Mode Series, part number 5 today, and we will be going to Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix.
Hey, our upgrade pace is looking solid right now, but I do think we need to push harder if we want to stay competitive. Here's the report.
Right, so our R&D guy is telling us that Mercedes have pushed for an upgrade. This is the current sort of R&D standings for teams, and he's telling us we need to upgrade more. However, I've added an upgrade at the end of the last episode. Oh, it hasn't saved. Right then, so that means I have to start that now, and let's go to practice.
Welcome to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix. Over the next few minutes, the teams will be heading out onto this classic Formula One track for what we're expecting to be a very hectic practice session. I'm here with Anthony Davidson once again. Nice to see you, Ant, and I wanted to ask you about how you go about improving the car over the course of a practice session. How much would you say is already known from the pre-race simulations, and how much do you have to do, how much do you have to work on with a real car on a real circuit?
Well, that's a good question, Crofty, and I suppose the simple answer is that there's no such thing as too much information. As you say, the bigger teams have very complex simulations, vast numbers of clever people crunching the numbers back at base, but what they can't tell you is stuff like how the track condition's going to be, or what the temperature's going to be doing over the course of the day, and how all of that's going to be interacting with the tyre. There are so many millions of tiny variables involved in getting these cars around a racetrack quickly, but the computer can't tailor the car to a driver's specific balance requirements. At some point, you still need to put a human being in there and have them feel it through the seat of their pants. And that's why we end up with different drivers having different setups. So what I'm trying to say is, Crofty, nothing beats on-track testing.
As always, I started with track acclimatization, which went well. I got a good score straight away. However, in the tyre wear tests, I got held up by NASA on one lap. Another lap I didn't go fast enough, so that went really badly. However, in the qualifying pace I did well. However, on the first lap I was held up by Nico Hulkenberg. So overall it was an okay practice session. Now let's have a look at the resource points we earned for the practice session that we did. So here we go, it's green so far, all green. Yeah, it's all green, that's good. Okay, 318 resource points. Let's listen to the voicemail.
Hi, how are you? I'm just passing on your qualifying goals for this weekend.
Right, so those are the qualifying goals we have. Let's go to qualifying.
Today's qualifying session is about to start here at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, and what a cracker of a session we're expecting it to be. Watching some of the cars attack the high-speed corners, it occurred to me that this might be one of the more awkward tracks to prepare a car for. Do you go for top speed over grip, or do you look to maximise performance in all the corners?
It's easy to make your car quick in a straight line, you just take all the downforce off. But when it comes to a track like this, you really need a bit more of a compromise. The main focus here is carrying speed through the fast-flowing corners, but you still don't want to be a sitting duck on the straight.
I decided to go out on the soft compound tyres for qualifying, and I was only able to qualify P4 for the race start in the race. However, the team were pleased with my results, so let's have a look at all resource points that we achieved. So here are the resource points we earned during the qualifying session. I think it went quite well overall, not as well as previous episodes because I wasn't too good in the final sector really, so wasn't the fastest there, or the second sector really. However, we are still ahead of Daniel Ricciardo in the rivalry, and we have got 1 plus points, 1 minus points, so we basically got nothing in our driver team level.
Hey, how are you? I have some information on the race goals you should keep in mind.
So those are the race goals. Let's go to the start.
Good afternoon from a very familiar setting. It's race day here in Spain, and with everything still to play for in the championship battle, there's no room for mistakes in a Grand Prix that's well known for creating them. It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint down to turn 1 of this 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through these 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of turn 9. Anthony Davidson is here with me today. Together we'll be taking you through all the action of this Spanish Grand Prix. It can be hard for the cars to follow each other closely here due to the dirty air coming off the car in front. So perhaps we're looking at a more strategic Grand Prix, Ant. What do you think on that?
I'm not too sure about that, Crofty. I mean, yes, as you say, it's hard to follow around here, but if you're brave on the brakes, you can get the job done down into turn 1, which is a medium-speed corner, so you have to be committed. And looking down at this grid today, I think we're going to see 1 or 2 drivers making a move from a long way back, maybe try to force their opponent into a mistake. I don't think this is a race that's going to be purely decided in the pit stops.
You were expected to be in a higher grid position than this. Let's push hard on the first few laps and move up a few places.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Nico Rosberg completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel and a Ferrari.
Going to the race start now, I actually forgot to check the strategy, so I have no idea what strategy I am, but I am starting on my qualifying tyres and Supersauce. As we head off for the start of the race, we have passed Sebastian Vettel before getting into the braking zone, and now we are making gains on Nico Rosberg, braking later than him, touching his right tyre there with our front left wing, and we have made it up into second place within the first 3 corners. How good a start was that? That was an amazing start, I think. Not quite into first place, well, in my opinion, amazing. And not quite into first place, but second place is great for the start of this race. Let's just keep the tyres going as long as possible, really. Hopefully we can make some gains on Hamilton. However, he does seem to be pulling away on this straight right now. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, here's who we're really fighting today. Rosberg and Ricciardo.
Okay then, so just to confirm with my engineer, he doesn't think we will be challenging for the win of this race. He thinks we'll be fighting Rosberg, and he said Ricciardo as well. I presume that's just because he's our rival currently. So let's just carry on and try to keep this P2 ahead of Nico Rosberg. Coming on to the start of lap 3 now, and DRS has been enabled. So that means next time we enter a DRS zone, it looks like Rosberg is going to get DRS on us. Hopefully not make a move. You can see the proximity arrow there has now disappeared though. So he got quite close to us in the braking zone. So I need to really put my foot down on the pedal and get some gap between me and Rosberg. Later on lap 3 now, coming up to the end of the first DRS section. I've set the fastest sector. However, Rosberg is very close, as you can see in the left rear mirror there. However, coming on to the pit straight now, you can see the proximity arrow right there. He will have DRS on me. I've set fastest lap, and so has Rosberg. He is really in the slipstream now. Is he going to try and dive bomb down my outside? He's really close there. However, he is not able to make the move on us on this particular lap. Hopefully not this lap as well, but we'll see. And again, I think Rosberg has DRS on us. We have set again the fastest sector in sector 2, but the proximity arrow is way closer, and it is not dropping off through this final sector, or the beginning of this final sector, and it's getting even closer through this corner. We need to get away from Rosberg, otherwise he will overtake us in one of these DRS zones. He's right up my gearbox through this section. Look, even more proximity arrows, and even I think Vettel behind him is close as well. Can we keep ahead on this straight? Put it up into rich mix. You can see the proximity arrows. You can see him come round up my inside. There goes Rosberg in the slipstream, making the move. Can I brake later than him? Yes, I can. He's still ahead. I've pushed him in corner too tight, and I've taken the position back round these outside, and we have kept P2 for now. A yellow flag. I was about to say, a yellow flag just appeared. But now I have virtual safety car, so I've got to slow down to the virtual safety car pace. I think I'm going to put the fuel mix down into lean for this part of the race, just because I think that will save some fuel for the end, although I'm not really too bothered about the fuel usage. I never really use enough anyway. And it looks like my engineer wants me to come into the pits at the end of this lap. So we'll have to fight off Rosberg and my teammate Vettel until... Oh, green flags, DRS enabled, let's go racing again. And I need to get into the pits up into standard fuel mix. Right, into the left-right chicane here at the end of the lap and dive into the pits we go. And there we are, automated pit entry, I love you. Let's see where we come out. Out of the pits now, and we are down to P7. However, none of the other leaders made a stop, so we will pass them when they go for their stops, hopefully within the next few laps. I hope to take these medium tyres to the end of the race, I assume. We are on lap 6, there are 17 laps to go, or 17 laps in total, so that's 11 laps left of this race. So I think these medium tyres should do us well, provided... Oh, box this up, don't want to do that. Right, they should last us well, providing I can manage the tyres well this time round, unlike at Bahrain and China.
You have P7, 7th place, Kvyat ahead. They're on fresh softs. Massa is behind you. They're on fresh softs. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 12 laps to go.
That was just a race update from my engineer, so these tyres should last us to the end of this race. I accidentally... no, I've gone into rich there, and we are up into P4 right now. Yeah, P4 it looks like, and we have gained time on Lewis Hamilton, it seems, as well. So this undercut has worked for us, and also Vettel is now ahead of Rosberg, so it looks like 2 Ferraris will be on the podium this race if we can keep this going. And now we have yellow flags ahead, and it looks like that's where Hamilton is at the moment, so will he have to slow down? We haven't gone for a faster sector, actually it's the slower sector, but we're on slow tyres. Green flag now, and it looks like Hamilton unfortunately hasn't been too badly affected by that. So we haven't really made much time up, but he does look to still be within at least grasping distance through these chicanes. Maybe not, I'm not sure. Hopefully we can at least make up some time on these laps, keep ahead of Vettel for the main part, and maybe challenge Hamilton. However, the lap overall has been slower, so I'm not too sure. And that's the gap to our teammates, so let's see how this goes. Hopefully we can make up some time on Hamilton though. And just as I say that, I have set the fastest first sector of the race so far. So it looks like we have made a few gains by setting the fastest first sector. Let's see if we can keep this up. I set the fastest second sector, and it looks like Hamilton set the fastest lap. However, now I've broken that fastest lap and set my own fastest lap. So that's nice to see. However, Hamilton isn't being a slouch currently. We are both setting fast laps. So I'm not sure, it looks quite even really. However, I am going faster than him. So hopefully within a few laps we'll be a bit closer. Coming up to the end of this lap, and we've set 3 fast sectors actually. It looks like a faster lap, possibly. It's all purple, so is that a fastest lap again? It hasn't told me that it's a fastest lap, but we are, I think, about the same, possibly a bit closer to Hamilton this time round, so I don't know, it doesn't look like we're gaining too much on him though, which is not the best thing to see. Can we set a... No, we've lost time through that sector, so is that the end of our fastest sectors? Have we taken the best out of these mediums already? Because it does, actually, it does look like we are really close to him, going a bit too wide here. No, I don't think we are really. I don't think we're gaining too much time. I mean, he looks bigger on the screen, however, we're going slower now really. And when we go into the next sector, we'll see if I can keep up the pace, but I think I've taken the best out of these tyres now. So it's just really what's left over. It's not going to go, yeah, it looks like we're not going to be going much faster now.
Hamilton is ahead of you. The time last lap was a 1 minute 27.5.
So my race engineer reckons that I'm not gaining time on Hamilton, and he does seem to be further away at the moment. And I think we'll probably set another red sector time here. Yeah, set another red sector time. It's not looking good for catching Hamilton. I just hope that we can stay ahead of our teammate really at the moment, which it looks like we're doing quite well. Currently halfway through lap 15, and my tyre wear is not looking great. It's about 50% on the front left. So, yeah. Hopefully I won't have to come into the pits because I don't want to lose time to my teammate. I'm not going to be able to make it out in front of him if I do pit, so I'm just going to keep going. Hopefully try and be light on the tyres, light as possible really, but without going too slowly, and keep them going to the end of the race. I'm now in the final sector of this race, and my tyre wear is on 70% on the front left. Really high tyre wear on that front left medium tyre, locking up there into this chicane section. But we have made it through the lap. Lewis Hamilton is the race winner. However, we are going to come second and third for Ferrari. I think this race has been a success.
Yes, that's a podium. Excellent drive. The team have worked especially hard this weekend, and this is a fantastic reward.
So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
And as the adrenaline dies
And here we
down
come,
after
second
another
place on the
eventful
podium,
Here come the top
and
three
third for
out
Sebastian
onto the
Vettel, my
podium.
teammate. I think this race has been a success. We have got plenty of points, catching up to Mercedes in the constructors, and hopefully me and Vettel can overtake Rosberg in the drivers as well.
And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It's a good
So there are the
result for Lewis
results,
Hamilton, who
P4
moves
for Nico
further ahead at the
Rosberg
top
and
of the table.
P6 for
Moving on to
my
the driver of the day.
rival Daniel Ricciardo. He lost a place out to his teammate Max Verstappen, who started behind him in the race. There's the championship. We are still in fourth, still behind Nico Rosberg it looks like, but Sebastian Vettel is ahead of him, and we are still second in the constructors standing. So overall looks like a good race, and hopefully we can improve on next time to hopefully get ahead of Nico Rosberg. We're about 10 points behind him really, a bit less than that I think. Can't really see because of the resolution. Here are the resource points we have earned this weekend in the race. So 499 there, that's quite good I think. Rivalry update, yeah, podium, all of this. No, he hasn't. I've got, yes, he's on everything. It looks like I'm about to beat Daniel Ricciardo in the rivalry. +1 there. Am I going to get another +1? Yes, I am. So nearly into the purple, nearly number 1 driver, or top of the seconds. So that would be nice to see. Get it to be number 1 driver in the team, come ahead of Sebastian Vettel. However, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully next time we'll get our engine upgrade and we can show an improved pace with the car. But that will be next time, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Goodbye.